Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone joining us for this Bell Ringing for Peace event, sponsored and organized by the City of Cupertino and Cupertino-Toyokawa Sister Cities Incorporated. My name's Elisa Sakas, and I'm the president of Cupertino-Toyokawa Sister Cities Incorporated, also known as the CTSC Committee. We're a nonprofit that organizes local activities related to Cupertino's Japanese sister city and nurtures our sister city relationship with Toyokawa, Japan. The video that was playing prior to the start of the ceremony was an overview of our primary committee projects and events. While I'm sad that we have to hold this event as a webinar and not in person, I'm very thankful to the City of Cupertino's Multimedia Department for helping us to conduct this as a webinar. And I guess the silver lining of these circumstances is that it allows people to join virtually from far away, as in Japan. Konnichiwa, Toyokawa. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge a few groups of people. First, we're honored to have two very special guest speakers whom I will be introducing shortly. And from the City of Cupertino, Mayor Stephen Scharf, Vice Mayor Darcy Paul, Councilmember Rod Sinks, Councilmember Liang Chow, Councilmember John Willey, and our City Manager, Deb Feng. Many of the 40-some CTSC committee members are in attendance. Thank you for all your hard work to make this event and our other programs possible. I know we have various people who have participated as students, as chaperones, as adult members of our cultural exchange programs from over the years. Welcome. And I'd also like to welcome members of Cupertino's other three sister city associations representing our sister cities in Cupertino, Italy, Hsinchu, Taiwan, Republic of China, and Bhubaneswar, India. We have a short program for you today, and it will culminate in the bell ringing to celebrate 75 years of peace since World War II. So I hope everyone has a bell handy ready to ring. We're honored to have greetings from two very special guests. First, we have Mr. Kevin O'Donnell, Chair of the Japan Committee of Sister Cities International. Kevin also serves on the Board of Directors of Sister Cities International, and today's event was an initiative conceived by Kevin's committee. I'd like to have him describe it for everyone. Kevin?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin O'Donnell, Young Professional Representative on the Sister Cities International Board of Directors and Chair of the Japan Committee. I am honored to be representing SCI at Cupertino's bell ringing ceremony today. Thank you to Elisa Sakas, President of Cupertino-Toyokawa Sister Cities, for not only inviting me to speak, but for all her tireless efforts in organizing this ceremony on behalf of the Cupertino community. As you may know, Sister Cities International was created in 1956 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. Our mission is to promote peace through mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation, one individual, one community at a time. We believe in the power of personal connections and work to create global relationships based on exchanges of all types. Participants in Sister City programs develop lifelong friendships that provide peace and prosperity through person-to-person citizen diplomacy. Our new Japan Committee will serve as a national platform that provides a more inclusive and unified approach to SCI's relationship with Japan. This is a membership benefit for all SCI members that have partnerships with Japanese cities, so anyone belonging to an active SCI member city that has a sister city in Japan, like Cupertino, is encouraged to join our Japan Committee's activities. Our first initiative as the Japan Committee is this, the U.S.-Japan Sister Cities Bell Ringing Project. This project calls for citizen diplomats and city leaders to coordinate the simultaneous ringing of bells in sister cities across the United States and Japan to mark 75 years of peace since the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. After the ceremonies, SCI will collect pictures and clips from all participating cities and combine them into one giant video for everyone to view afterwards. There was a broad desire to mark this important historic anniversary through sister city relationships in particular, as there are over 455 sister city and sister state relationships that have been recorded between our countries, 162 of which are within the SCI network. Furthermore, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Nagasaki, Japan also happen to be the first post-war sister city relationship with a U.S. and Asian city. There is meaningful symbolism to a project like this since SCI was created to prevent wars like World War II. The world needs hope right now, and this is one simple way that all of us, separately but together, can send a strong message of solidarity. Thank you for helping us celebrate this amazingly positive milestone of peace for humankind.
And thank you, Kevin, for your explanation of the significance of today's event. It's both exciting and powerful to know that cities across the US and in Japan will simultaneously be ringing bells with us today. Next, we'll hear from the Consul General of Japan in San Francisco, Mr. Toru Maida. Consul General Maida's post started in February of this year. He's served previous assignments at the US Embassy in Washington, D.C., at the UN in Geneva, and several other posts, such as in Malaysia, Bangladesh, Indonesia, and most recently Myanmar, before coming to San Francisco.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Toru Maida, Consul General of Japan in San Francisco. It is an honor to join you today. On August 6, 1945, 75 years ago today, more than 100,000 people lost their lives to an atomic bomb detonated in Hiroshima. 3 days later, on August 9th, another atomic bomb was dropped in Nagasaki. As many as 70,000 additional people lost their lives. It is a solemn day today for all of us Japanese people. We deeply feel the weight of the tragedies. As we honor their memory, may the souls rest in peace. Survivors also suffered from the after effects and persevered through many hardships. We reflect on these lives so we will not repeat the same tragedies. World War II was certainly a devastating period between Japan and the United States. Both sides suffered immense casualties and damages. But despite this painful history, our nations started to look to a shared future and began to mend our relationship. Today, Japan and the United States are the closest friends and allies. Our bilateral relations are excellent and one of the strongest in the world. It is founded upon the common strategic goals and shared fundamental values, including human rights, democracy, and rule of law. We are also win-win economic and business partners with mutual respect and trust. This excellent relationship is owed to the dedicated efforts made by the governments and people on both sides, including every one of you joined this ceremony today. For more than 40 years, Cupertino had shared a rich relationship with its sister city, Toyokawa. I'd like to thank the Cupertino-Toyokawa sister cities and its leaders for their important roles in connecting Cupertino and Toyokawa, as well as Japan and California. Students especially have gained invaluable intercultural experiences through exchange programs with Toyokawa. Furthermore, Cupertino's support of the Toyokawa Peace Park indeed reflects our shared path of reconciliation. I'd like to thank the Cupertino-Toyokawa sister cities, the City of Cupertino, and Sister Cities International for organizing today's ceremony. Despite the challenges we face today, I am thankful for the efforts in making this event possible. I'm also very grateful to Cupertino Mayor Stephen Schaaf for attending this ceremony to commemorate the tragedies of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In closing, I'd like to thank everyone for commemorating this solemn occasion. It is truly touching for me to see people in the United States remember the tragedies in Hiroshima and Nagasaki and share our wish for peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your remarks, Consul General Maeda. As Kevin O'Donnell and Consul General Maeda both mentioned, we must not underestimate the impact of citizen diplomacy and people-to-people cultural exchanges. There is a one-sentence quote attributed to Albert Einstein that I think resonates strongly with the philosophy of Sister Cities International and President Eisenhower's hope for the program. It goes, "Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding." Contributing to the achievement of mutual understanding, respect, and peace between countries, Cupertino has 4 successful city programs. All 4 have youth exchange programs, and each is unique, but all are focused on enabling international friendships, many that go on to last a lifetime. The CTSC youth exchanges have been occurring since 1983, and our program is focused on 7th and 8th graders who participate in our program over a period of 10 months to include 10 days traveling to Japan and a week hosting students in Toyokawa. Please enjoy this short video for glimpses of the typical activities of our youth delegates as they travel to Japan, visit Toyokawa, and then host visitors. While the student exchanges occur every year, with a couple of exceptions such as this year, since coronavirus canceled this year's exchange, we also have an adult exchange every 5 years. Our last exchange was in 2018 when Cupertino and Toyokawa celebrated 40 years as sister cities. This next video shows some of the activities of the visit of the mayor of Toyokawa, leading a delegation of 40 visitors to Cupertino, followed by the visit of Cupertino's mayor, Darcy Paul, leading a delegation of 40 travelers to Toyokawa, Japan. I think you'll find our final video very educational. While today's event was timed in remembrance of the well-known dropping of an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan, a lesser remembered fact is that in addition to the atomic bombing of Nagasaki, 66 other Japanese cities were devastated during World War II by incendiary bombing, and our sister city, Toyokawa, was among them. Now, I've been active in CTSC since 2007, and I only learned about the bombing of Toyokawa in 2018. It was something that was not talked about or openly discussed. Although a very heavy and somber topic, it is a significant event in our shared history, and it causes us to pause, to remember the lives that are lost, and inspires our strong desire to renew our wish for continued peace, especially on days of remembrance like today.
While the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are well known, the bombing of Cupertino's sister city of Toyokawa is a lesser known event that occurred between the other two during World War II. Toyokawa was the location of the armory where ammunition was manufactured and stored for the Japanese Navy. By February of 1945, the facility had over 56,000 workers and covered an area of 815 acres. On August 7, 1945, at 10:30 a.m., incendiary bombs were dropped on the armory and surrounding residential area. Civilian casualties numbered over 2,500 people, and the victims included 452 schoolchildren and teenage girls who were working at the armory, many as volunteers. Restoring a portion of the site was a visionary project of Toyokawa's mayor Yamawaki, as an honor to those lost and as a reminder to those in the future. In 2018, Mayor Yamawaki's dream came true, and a peace park at the restored site was dedicated on August 7th, marking the 73rd anniversary of the bombing. 3 months later, the Cupertino adult delegation led by Mayor Darcy Paul visited the new peace park. The delegation was moved with emotion to tour the site, see the artifacts and historic photos, and learn the stories of those who perished. While it is a very sad chapter in our shared history, we must never forget what happened, and we must remember the lives that were lost. Returning to Cupertino, the delegation felt compelled to action. The folding of 1,000 origami cranes is a symbolic Japanese gift that is said to have the power to lift a wish to the heavens to be granted. 1,000 cranes have also come to symbolize the wish for peace due to the story of a young girl named Sadako Sasaki. Sadako died from leukemia, an effect of the atomic bomb dropped in Hiroshima during World War II, despite her diligence to fold 1,000 cranes for her wish to be cured. To this day, sets of 1,000 origami cranes continue to be sent to Hiroshima's Peace Park from around the world. In time for last year's first anniversary of the opening of Toyokawa Peace Park, we offered a senbazuru gift, 1,000 origami cranes. The cranes were folded and assembled by CUSD students, Sister City committee members, Cupertino citizens, and many who attended the 2019 Cupertino Cherry Blossom Festival that we hold in honor of Toyokawa each year. This year, the Cupertino-Toyokawa Sister Cities Committee has created a twin 1,000 crane display like the one we sent to Toyokawa 1 year ago. You will see it shortly with Mayor Sharf. We would like to dedicate it this year, marking 75 years of peace and the second anniversary of the opening of Toyokawa's Peace Park. These 1,000 cranes represent a continued renewal of our sister cities' friendship and our shared wish for lasting peace.
In the video, there was mention of the 1,000 crane display called a senbuzuru. Today, we would like to dedicate a newly created senbuzuru to again renew our friendship with Toyokawa and again renew our wish for everlasting peace. CTSC delivered the beautiful senbuzuru to City Hall where it will be displayed. And at this time, I'd like to welcome our mayor, Stephen Sharf.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to participate in this wonderful event today. Behind me is a display of 1,000 cranes made by our sister city members. Can you see that there? I only see Elisa on my screen, so. So now I would like to present a proclamation from the city of Cupertino. As was said, it's unfortunate that we can't all meet in person. I do see we have 128 attendees from the community, and I'm thrilled that everyone attended. I see our former mayor, Gilbert Wong, who was in some of the videos, and some of our commission and committee chairs. So here's the proclamation. I will read it now. Whereas the mornings of August 6th, August 7th, and August 9th, 2020 mark the 75th anniversary of the bombings of Japanese cities Hiroshima, our sister city Toyokawa, and Nagasaki, respectively. And whereas shortly after the bombings, the end of World War II ushered in an era of continual peace between the United States and Japan. In 1965, President Dwight D. Eisenhower created organizations like Sister Cities International to achieve peace through mutual respect, understanding, and cooperation among countries. And whereas visible proof of this long-lasting peaceful relationship between the US and Japan is present right here in our own city, where we have enjoyed a wonderfully enriching cross-cultural relationship with our sister city Toyokawa since 1978. And whereas over 455 sister city and state relationships have been recorded between the United States and Japan, including the groundbreaking relationship between St. Paul, Minnesota and Nagasaki, Japan, which was the first post-war sister city relationship between the US and an Asian city. And whereas bell ringing has long played a role in the United States representing peace, and in Japan, where New Year bell ringing marks a new era. And whereas the city of Cupertino renews its sister city relationship with Toyokawa once again, as well as its wish for lasting peace. Therefore, I, Mayor Stephen M. Scharf, and the Cupertino City Council do hereby proclaim the week of August 5th through August 12th, 2020 as Cupertino-Toyokawa Peace Week. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Scharf. And now we're going to get prepared to do the bell ringing. Get your bells ready. We'll be ringing bells for a duration of 44 seconds. This is the amount of time it took for the atomic bomb to drop on Hiroshima, Japan. The webinar participants you will see starting to appear on the screen will include Mayor Scharf and some of the members of the CTSC committee. So we're about a minute away. I'd like to suggest and invite to you to ring bells again in observation of the times that Toyokawa and Nagasaki were bombed 75 years ago. Yeah. Tomorrow, August 6th, 6:30 p.m. Cupertino local time corresponds to the time that Toyokawa was bombed, as was described in the video. Some members of the CTSC committee plan to visit the Stone Lantern and Memorial Park that was a gift from Toyokawa, and we will ring bells of peace at the appointed time. Saturday, August 8th at 7:02 Cupertino local time p.m. This corresponds to the time that the second atomic bomb was dropped in the city of Nagasaki. So everybody get ready. We're going to do 15 seconds of silence countdown and then 44 seconds counting back up. Get your bells ready.
It's supposed to be ringing now, but we were counting 10. When your pictures on the
Let me end today's ceremony by reading you the chartering statement of the establishment of Cupertino-Toyokawa Sister Cities in 1978. It is our firm belief that activities that promote friendly relations between the USA and Japan will contribute to world peace and be of lasting benefit to mankind. The goal of Sister City programs is to foster positive multicultural interaction and understanding among people here and abroad. Thank you, everyone, for attending. May we live in peace with one another, and may peace be with each of us.
Thank you.
If you'd like to learn a little bit more about Cupertino-Toyokawa Sister Cities, we'll end the webinar with one more replay of the video that was looping prior to the start of the ceremony. Thank you once again for attending.
Thank you.